Talk about the dynamic rotate function, part of manipulating the screen that is very useful for getting into a view that that shows a little bit more as you're measuring here. So I've got it as an icon on my toolbar right here. It's called the camera, or I think Faro calls it the move camera, but I call it a dynamic rotate. If you don't have it on your toolbar, you can also find it under the view, camera, move camera. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pick something to rotate about. So once I click onto the camera here, the first thing that it's asking me down in the bottom left hand corner is click on the target points anywhere on the feature. I'll say I'm pretty interested in this tail end area of this part, so I'm going to click someplace there. It does find quite a bit of content there. I'm just going to click on this measured datum C. When I click on that feature, it snaps that whole right to the center of the screen. And then what I can do is I can hold on my left key, and I'm holding down now, and it's actually rotating around that middle part. I'm still holding my left mouse key and rotating it to a spot that makes some sense for the view. So let's say I want to look at it this way. I can let go of my left mouse key and reposition my mouse and still continue to rotate around. So I kind of like the way that's going. So I'm clicking and letting go and clicking and letting go as I'm rotating this part around. So I'm going to say I like that view right there. The way to get out of the dynamic rotate is to hit the escape key. You can see my cursor has now changed just to the regular cursor. So that's the dynamic rotate. It's very useful for putting your SAT file into a view that makes some sense for how you're measuring or how your part is positioned on the table or how your machine tool looks. I use the dynamic rotate quite a bit for putting the SAT file into a view that makes sense for how I'm actually measuring the part or the machine. So go ahead and fire that up. It is a little bit cumbersome at first, but play with it for a while until you got the hang of this dynamic rotate, because it is a very useful function.